The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. I spread some of this sauce around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gum. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it. That wouldn't have worked. It was a nice idea. Josh,
Yeah, Nico.
you said you needed to get...
And you said you were going to create a distraction.
At least now the place was a little tidier. Father,
Yes, my child.
what do you think about that stain?
Is that blood?
I think it's just sauce. I wonder if there's a mop anywhere.
We are facing death and divine retribution. This is no time for tidying up.
Father Simeon wasn't making much sense. Do you know anything about the painter Serpent?
He was a purveyor of blasphemy, a servant of the Antichrist.
How can you know that?
It is clear from his work.
Father Simeon was making a lot of assumptions. So, did you travel far to visit the exhibition?
No journey is too long when there is evil at the end of it.
So you really didn't see anything distinctive about the killer?
No, my dear. I was more concerned with the poor soul who lost his life.
Do you know anything else?
Only that we should pray for his soul.
So why do you think the painting is evil?
There are some things it is best you do not know, my child.
I guess you don't know who the artist was.
I have no idea, but I do know he was playing with fire.
This is...
Good. Be sure to warn your readers.
Thank you for your... The priest didn't appear to know. Monsieur Le...
My dear.
Could you tell me more about the...
If you insist. The whole thing was too ghastly.
Anything else you can tell?
It wasn't particularly valuable compared to some of the other works on display.
So, you and Georges have been getting along?
No, I wouldn't say that, my dear.
So, you think the priest is acting strangely?
He's a priest. Need I say more?
So I guess you'll miss Henri.
There is already an Henri-shaped hole in my heart, madame.
So you didn't see anything that might help identify the murderer?
I'm afraid not.
Do you have any idea who might have tampered with the alarm?
None at all, I'm afraid.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. Lane had nothing to offer. I didn't feel like tearing the poster down. It was clearly old, but still in good condition. I was going to need to take a closer look. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. I'd made a convincing bloodstain, but was it art? Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. The poster advertised the 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called... The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for... The switch controlled the small desk lamp. The lighter was corroded and grimy. I decided to leave it. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have... I didn't need a business card. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. I wasn't going to open the... The secret compartment was open. There was no... The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. It was a battered... I had no reason... It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I needed to find a 4-digit number. The poster advertised a 1975 Stockholm Museum. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Bingo! I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. Poor Henri. The next shot had a better view of the writing on his helmet. The next shot had a better... Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted. This frame caught the moment the killer took the painting. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting. He knew exactly which painting to take. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. Poor Henri. Whoever was wearing that helmet was going to pay for what he did. The painting was gone. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera's security, who'd installed the system. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. That was me fiddling with the alarm. The alarm should have sounded when the killer... I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. Not my best angle. That was the last shot. I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV. That was the most recent image. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. Henri sure liked his clutter. I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. Henri sure had his quirks. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered post. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company, demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
Ah, to die for? To kill for. I put it to you, monsieur. Monsieur...
Stobart. George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobart.
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh? Pal? Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La Maledictio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh,
Yeah?
it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life.